that. Is this working? I don't know if it is.
Nope.
Perfect. Okay.
Oh, we're starting?
Yeah.
Are you guys going to throw your... Oh, is that... Oh, it's
Oh, yeah,
recording.
yeah,
You
yeah.
see the little light there?
Gotcha. That's like a
we're good to
webcam.
go.
You're
Yeah,
live, bro.
Yeah. That
Cool.
my real estate camera is sitting over there by sheer coincidence. That's why that big old bag is there.
Gotcha.
So,
Yeah.
anyways, welcome back. Thanks for joining us again, Sean. We
thanks for
appreciate it,
having me.
man.
Sorry about ghosting you guys yesterday.
Oh, it's fine. New
I
phone.
was- I
New
felt
phone.
so
Who
bad.
dis? Yeah.
Good thing you texted me, though, because I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
But I'm
No,
glad it worked out.
I always confirm. I
Yeah.
go on enough dating app dates that you always gotta confirm, right? So.
Oh, dating apps. Let's go.
You date
Yeah.
enough of those Joey's waitresses. I
Oh,
guess.
geez.
you know to confirm, right? So.
Oh, yeah.
How's business, man? I guess since the last time we talked on here, you officially launched your
Yeah,
Woofly, right?
Woofly. I don't think we launched when I was last on because we launched
No.
in March. So
Yeah.
I think our last
I think
time.
you were just talking about it.
You were just talking about it.
Yeah, we were about to launch, but coincidentally, we launched when COVID happened. So
Nice.
that was
perfect
fun.
timing.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I don't think it could have gotten any worse than launching when a global pandemic hits you.
yeah, geez.
But no, it was good, man. We obviously took a hit. Like we projected how we were gonna go first month, first quarter, second quarter. We had a really big marketing plan put forward, put a lot of money into it, and things fell through just with the whole COVID thing. A lot of people were kind of reluctant to spend money on a premium quality
Yeah.
product like dog food, and it's a new market too. So there's like a lot of education you need to put behind it.
Yep.
So so that happened, but that's okay. We took a hit, but you know how it is with business. I'm sure you guys know you got to roll with the punches. And we're actually doing it much better now. This week was one of our busiest weeks. We got a bunch of people this week, so
Oh, awesome.
yeah, it's good. I mean, things happen, but business is good for Woofly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
And
Good,
Mealcraft
good.
probably was like super busy with people.
Yeah, you know what? So Mealcraft
I was
did
gonna
well.
say.
Yeah, so I mean, we got a lot busier with Mealcraft because
Yeah.
everyone wants to stay home, especially during the beginning of the pandemic. People
mhm.
were a lot more intense than they are right now, right? People are a
Yeah.
little bit more relaxed, but in the beginning, how everything was super, super scary. It was
Yeah.
like you wouldn't go
Yeah.
outside and things like that. So everyone kind of, just wanted all their food delivered. So that's where we came in, which was
Nice.
nice. Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Good stuff. Damn. What? Yeah. Wow. What a wild time. But that'd be a very hard time to start
Yeah.
a brand new business.
It was challenging
Right?
for sure, but
Yeah. Kind of rolling now, I guess, or what? Or-
yeah. And I mean, everyone got hit by it.
Oh, yeah.
Like you guys got hit by
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Everyone did. So it's
Yeah.
not like we're the only ones, which kind of made us feel better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it was kind of unfortunate. Like a lot of these government grants and relief programs didn't really kind of address like new startups.
No.
Which is understandable
Yeah,
too, right?
Yeah. I'm 100% on that same page.
Yeah, so it was kind of shitty that you didn't get those benefits, but Mealcraft did, which was nice. So.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
But it was
Kind
okay.
of. I don't know. I've read lots of entrepreneur books where they're like, my one business was just paying for the other one.
Yeah,
Sort
pretty
of
much.
thing, right?
Like
So-
we're funneling a lot of things through Mealcraft,
Yeah.
which is like things you gotta do, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Which is
That's
nice
part
to
of
have.
it, right? So-
Yeah, but
Yeah, damn. It's funny because today I was super on the go, and I had to like grab Tim's sandwich on the way here, and I'm like, if only there was a healthier pre-made solution
dude, like
that could save me.
it's funny. I recently got on my meal prep. I would say maybe a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Before, people would always ask me like, why aren't you like eating your own food? And it was one of those things where it's like you're there all the time. You see all the food being made. You don't want to spend that extra time to cook for yourself or things like that. But I was like, I'm going to decide to do it because I've just been really, really active this past like year. And man, it really does make a difference. I'm not even trying to pump like Mealcraft right now, but having like a solid meal plan, whether you're getting it from a meal prep company or doing it yourself, it becomes so automatic where you make it a habit and like the food's not like it's not bad. I mean, it's not, you compare it to a McDouble, obviously a McDouble is tastier, but I mean, you got your rice. It's either a starch, a veg, and a protein, and then you
Yeah.
got your sauce and you got your seasoning.
Yeah.
And you just have that consistently when you're at home and you pop it in the mic, and it goes a long ways, especially when you see results. So
Yeah.
it just comes so automatic, and then one day in the mirror, you're just like, whoa, wow, like I'm actually starting to see results
Yeah.
because, frick, like my diet is actually on point now.
Mhm.
So
Excellent.
everyone should be on a diet if
Putting
they're
that-
looking to, get in shape or just trying to
Yeah,
hit their
hey,
goals,
yeah.
you know?
Those
What's-
McDoubles though, man.
Oh,
they inject
they
something
engineer
into
them. Oh yeah, big time, big
Yeah.
time.
Oh, they're too good.
Actually, on that note, does our promo code still work that we had with
It
you
should.
for-
I don't think it's expired,
Okay.
but I mean, absolutely, we can get it going again.
Nice.
We'll look that up for one of
Yeah,
our listeners.
because you
and
guys
figure
did it
out.
for that month because you had that sober November.
Sober
or-
October.
Sober
Sober October.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
so
did
last
do it
time
for
we
that.
talked was in October.
That
so
sounds about right.
Yeah.
September, October.
Yeah,
like just
so
at
like
the
6
start.
months then we launched.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's been a minute for sure. Yeah, we can definitely do that promo again, guys.
Nice.
Cool.
Well, I
Yeah.
saw you at the gym a couple times.
Yeah.
You were running some marathons or something?
Well, didn't you try?
I
like
attempted.
You tried a ultra, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah.
I failed it though. So it was a
Yeah, what was
funny
that
story.
like?
So I never ran before. Well, like the most I ever ran was maybe like 3 kilometers in my life.
Yeah.
But I was a terrible runner. I hated running.
Mm.
I said, I think we talked about this before. I was like listening to a lot of like David Goggins
Yeah.
Yep.
and just like everyone else.
Mhm.
And then I had a couple friends too who were kind of on the same boat. And one of them, my friend Dorian, he just signed up for an ultra marathon just in the winter. It was nothing serious. It was like a charity event. And he's like, "You want to do it?" I was like, "Fuck, 50 kilometers? Like that's a lot, right?"
Yeah.
Because I couldn't even compare it because I did like
That's
3
okay.
kilometers and I was like, 3 kilometers is a lot. Like 50, like I didn't know what to compare it to. So
Sure.
I was like, you know what, fuck it, let's do it. So, cause you ever listen to David Goggins, his whole spiel is always like, oh, you can do so much more than your mind thinks you can.
Yep. Yep.
I ran 5,000 kilometers and I have half a heart. You could do it too.
Yeah.
And then you just get so like
Oh yeah.
gun ho with it. I'm like, fuck yeah, I can do it if David Goggins can do it.
Sure.
But that guy's a fucking machine. Like
He's
that
on-
guy's
He's
unhuman.
cut from
Yeah.
a different cloth.
Yeah, exactly. But
Yeah.
you listen to his shit and you just get so motivated and you're like, oh, I want to do better. I want to be better. I want to be the best version of myself. So I was like, all right, let's do it. So I started training for it, which wasn't much. This was wintertime too. So, like I was running outside with a couple buddies like Dorian and Justin. I got my friend Matt Aker to join too. He's one of those athletic guys who just doesn't work out, but he's just a freak.
Yeah.
Like he'll run 10K. He'll run like a half marathon on like 3 hours of sleep and drinking till 4 in the morning, and he'll just get up and go.
Yeah.
And I'm just like dying behind him, just like all ready to go. I had some spaghetti
Yeah.
the day before, good sleep, and he's just killing me. So it was super brutal in the beginning. So the ultra marathon, I only managed to finish 41 kilometers. It was one of those
That's
things
pretty
where,
damn good though for your.
yeah,
first
you know
time.
what though? I'm not happy with it because I told myself, like, I'm not comparing myself to anyone because it was always like, okay, I said I'm gonna do it, so I'm gonna do it no matter what. And I didn't do it, so I was pretty angry with myself because at the end of the day, I mean, I didn't want to do it for time. I just wanted to finish 50 kilometers, and I thought to myself like, okay, if I can't run it, I can definitely walk the rest. But man, my body, like, I was hurting in ways that I never felt before. I don't know if you guys ever ran a long distance before like that, but
Not particularly.
yeah, and like, so you have a camel pack, which is nothing, I didn't know what it was. So I got a camel pack. It's like a backpack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You drink water out of it.
Yeah.
And things like ultra marathons when you're running like 50K plus, especially if you're not experienced, nutrition super important. So you got to know when
Right.
to hydrate yourself, when to, get those sugars in you, get the salt in you and sodium and whatnot. And my camel pack froze because it was so cold that day. Like it was like minus 15, minus 15, 20, and we were
Yeah.
running. We like got there at like 8 a.m. and I don't think I finished till like 3 or 4 in the afternoon. And it was super brutal because
Where was it?
it was just down the river valley.
Oh,
so,
okay. It was like a loop kind of
exactly.
thing.
So they did like a trail where you go all along the river valley and then you come back, and that was like the event, and that
Yeah.
was 25K. But you do it again to make it 50K.
Gotcha.
So you had like so many people that were just like freaks, like such good runners, just
Yeah.
doing it for fun. This guy was like towing like a sled, a
Fun.
weighted
Yeah.
sled the whole time too.
Fun.
It was
Oh,
insane.
damn,
I was
wow.
like, holy, you guys are crazy. And they're like, oh, I'm just training for this ultra in the States. It's like a 300-kilometer one. And I'm just like, holy fuck, like, what
Yeah,
is going
yeah.
on right now?
Yeah.
So me being stupid, I'm like, yeah, I can do it. Body shut down, was dehydrated. I started getting cramps everywhere, like everywhere, to the point where I couldn't even straighten my body. And I started kind of like limping towards. I was gonna stop at 25 to be honest, but
Yeah.
and my friend Matt, so Matt did it with me. So me, Matt, Dorian, and Justin did it. Dorian messed up his shin before, so him and Justin walked it together. So they took like fuck, I don't even know, like 15 out, like a ridiculous amount. But so me and Matt were running it together. We did the 25K, and it was one of those like days where I ran 25K before that, training
Yeah.
for it, and I felt great. But I don't know. Maybe I just kind of like over psyched myself up, or I got the nerves or something. But that day, like I started to get sore like 10 kilometers in.
Oh, yeah.
So the 25 was quite a struggle, and Matt was a lot more conditioned than me, so he was kind of always like waiting for me, and I kind of felt bad too. So we got back to the station at 25. I was like dying. I was like, man, like I don't know if I can do this. And he was kind of like, oh, we don't have to do it anymore. Like we can just stop here. 25K is good. But I was like, no, we gotta fucking do it. I was like, you gotta fucking do it because you're okay. Like you can do it. So we got to I think we did like 10 more K to the point where I was literally just walking, and I was like, and he was good still. So I was like, dude, you don't have to wait for me. Just go on ahead and finish it. Like you can actually do it for like a time if you wanted to. And so I just was on my own. I did like 5-6 more K, and I was so cold, and I was starting to get like, cause I wasn't running anymore, so I wasn't generating heat.
Yeah.
I was fucking freezing. I was so sore, and my gloves were like super wet. I was starting to get like frostbite on my fingers, and I was on antibiotics too, cause I messed up my finger, cause I had a really bad infection in it. Yeah, it was so bad. So I was like, no, I'm done, and I just called it there.
Shit.
But it was a good experience. Like now I'm
yeah.
like much more conditioned. So I think if I were to do it again, I could definitely do it. But it's so hard. Running's one of those things where it's such a mental thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It just like hurts as soon as you start.
Oh, dude, yeah.
I don't know.
And your mind's just constantly being like,
Yeah.
"What the fuck are you doing? Like
Yeah,
you're an
yeah.
idiot. Stop. This
Yeah.
sucks."
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's like, why am I doing this? This does suck.
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
never a runner. I was a sprint athlete. That
Oh,
was,
nice.
Like that was it.
Yeah.
Give me my 100-meter and I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
totally.
just enough. Yeah. Yeah.
But I have a lot of respect for like ultra marathon runners like that. You got to
Oh,
be
it's
like a
pretty
sick,
crazy.
twisted person to do that shit. Like
It's
you got to be
almost-
fucked up for sure.
Like, yeah, you have to be in pretty incredible shape, but there's such a huge mental
Oh
component.
yeah,
too, right?
mentally. And
Yeah.
you know what? Not to take anything away from runners, but running is one of those things where you do it enough and enough and enough, you're gonna be a good runner. Like,
Right.
You don't have to be. Obviously, there's extremes to it, right? Like a guy who's running like 500 kilometers, he's probably a great athlete on top of that. But I mean, in my opinion, the general population, if you want to do ultra marathons, anyone can
Yeah.
do it. You just got to put the time and
Yeah,
condition your heart to do it, right? Because it's
Yeah.
just all about your like aerobic capacity and then your mental state, like not bitching out and just kind of telling yourself you're gonna do it. I think mentally that's the toughest part.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it was a good experience. I liked
Yeah.
it.
So, gonna try it again.
Absolutely, yeah,
year,
for
yeah?
sure.
Oh, shit.
So I signed up for the Lululemon half marathon in Vancouver, the Seawees 2020, but I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but it's like Lululemon's biggest marathon race.
Yep,
Okay.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, so it's like really hard to get in because you really gotta put yourself in the lottery, and then I think like
Kinda
people from
luck
around the
or-
world, yeah, it's over like 10,000 people go to it, and I applied for my first time, and luckily, super lucky, got in because of COVID. It never happened, so now
Right.
and I was gonna do it with a bunch of people too, so it's gonna be really fun. We're gonna make like a weekend out of it, go to Vancouver,
Sure,
run the
yeah.
marathon.
Yep.
But that never happened. So next week they're kind of guaranteeing your spot. So yeah, I don't know. I think I won't take up running seriously until next year when you can sign up for like half marathons and marathons. Because I don't think you'll be able to sign up for any for the rest of the year. Not that I know of. I'm sure there might be, some special ones, but for kind of the general population. Until then, I'm just kind of running just like 5Ks
Yeah.
and just
Yeah, yeah.
kind of keeping the body light.
You
Yeah,
just gotta
definitely.
throw a gas mask on and run it, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that would,
I guess
that would
so.
be
Yeah.
awful though.
Oh man, that
Your
would make it
breathing
even
would
more,
suck.
more
So you
hard.
know what a jarhead You
Yeah.
see that movie?
Yeah.
I don't think I've watched that.
The Jake
That-
Gyllenhaal.
yeah, with Jake
Oh,
Gyllenhaal.
okay.
Yeah.
That's a good movie.
That was a good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I noticed you rocking
Oh,
the
you got a Whoop.
the Whoop
Hell
strap.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I seen you post some
Dude.
you, like some screenshots. Of
Are you on
the-
a team?
No,
You
no,
gotta
I'm
join
not.
our team. Raging Dragon Arctic Fist. That's our team.
Who
It's
who's
just
on the
me,
team?
my buddy KB, and my friend Justin. My friend Jeff's supposed to be on it. He hasn't accepted it,
Oh,
which
yeah?
is kind of rude. So Jeff, if you're listening, you
Ki-
should fucking accept it. But yeah, you should hop on.
So, because there's teams, can you add friends too, or
So
is
that's
that the same
essentially
thing?
what it is.
Oh,
It's like
okay,
adding
gotcha,
friends
gotcha.
because there's
Yeah.
no like friends list in it. Do you know what a Whoop is?
No, red pill me on this. What's
Oh,
going
you
on
tell
here?
him. You give him
Yeah.
the rundown.
Okay, so like I said yesterday, Joe Rogan is Oprah for men.
Okay.
Right?
Oh,
Right?
is he talking about it?
No, we were talking about it
Oh,
yesterday
gotcha.
with someone. Anyways, no, so it's like it's a heart rate monitor, like fitness thing,
Yeah,
but
okay.
it's known for its accuracy with your heart rate, and it's like a wear it all the time sort of thing, right?
Okay.
Because
Mm-hmm.
the battery's really good. So, because I believe Apple Watches do monitor your heart rate, but most people charge them at night, right? Because
Yeah.
the big thing with this one, and that was kind of the main reason I got it, was for tracking your sleep and like how
Ah.
often you get up in the night and
Okay.
stuff. That was the big reason for me personally. But and then it keeps track of your heart rate, and its big thing is keeping track of your like resting heart rate over your active heart rate or whatever the fuck it's
Gotcha.
called. Because it
Okay.
also talks about so it measures your recovery every day and then your like strain. So like how much you elevate your heart rate.
Gotcha. Okay.
Strain is everything now. When
Yeah.
you get a Whoop, all you think
Oh,
about
yeah.
is
you're like
my
how hard,
strain.
and then
how high can I get my
because
strain.
it's like it's a ratio of your resting heart rate to active heart rate.
Gotcha.
Or I'm using the wrong words.
Yeah.
But there's some sort of ratio, and the highest you can get is a 21 for strain,
Which is
and
physically
it's,
impossible.
It's real. You'd be having a heart attack, I'm pretty sure. So
Yeah.
But it makes you rethink how hard you work out, because it's quite hard to get high strain. I've noticed. I don't know about
Yeah.
you.
So
yeah.
like what Tom said, I think the highest strain I ever got was like 19, but
Oh,
it
yeah?
is very difficult. I've like been reading a lot into Whoop ever since I got it,
Yeah.
because like he said, it's it tracks your heart rate, it tracks your sleep, it tracks your recovery,
Mm-hmm.
but the most important thing about it is it consistently pulls data from you like every second of the day, especially if you have it on all the time. I mean, you can take it off when you shower and like clean and
Yeah.
stuff, but I mean, it'll keep tracking it and tracking it. It'll track your heart rate, your resting heart rate. It'll track your heart rate variance, so variability. So that's kind of like your variability of your heart rate is how your heart adapts to different stresses it takes on. So, and this is the number two, like the rule of thumb is like if you have a high HRV, that means your heart is very good at adapting to different strains when it comes at you. So like your heart like going from like one like strain to another extreme, like it's very good at adopting it. It has something to do with your atomic, and don't quote me on this because I could be totally wrong, but it has something to do with your is it your atomic and post-atomic system, autonomic system?
Are we talking about nervous system, or are we talking about?
No, I think it's more about your heart.
Yeah.
And just yeah.
But it tracks your nerve,
familiar.
like it's all connected.
Mhm,
So
mhm,
it can, if you, for example, if you go drinking
Yeah.
and you get super fucked up, the
Yeah.
next day it will show your recovery being super shitty
Oh yeah.
because it will know that you went drinking, your heart rate, your HRV goes down, your resting heart rate might go up a little bit.
Okay.
Mhm.
There have been athletes who were able to find out they had COVID before they actually got tested because they looked at their Whoop tracker and they saw the variance of their HRV just spike from one day. So if your HRV is
And-
like, yeah.
Sorry, finish.
So if your HRV spikes all of a sudden for one day and then it like spikes, that means there's something going on with your body, and your body's either fighting off something or it's just not a regular notion. So it's really cool to have.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And it also because it can track your respiratory rate. I'm not sure exactly how. I think it can just kind of judge by your heart rate or something. So more so in the at night, right, is when it tracks that, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
But and it's pretty crazy. It's like a lot of data. Like it's
so
way more
much.
than I was expecting,
Yeah.
and it's made me kind of rethink a few things. But I don't know. I'm really enjoying it. It's made me. I think it's a pretty important thing to have and to think about, right? And it's amazing, even having like one beer at dinner, how it will like fuck up your sleep and because it tracks you through the day, and your recovery actually goes up through the day depending on your heart rate, blah blah blah. But like a drink or two like fucks you up for like 24 hours and how much it does
Yeah.
to your body.
Yeah.
It's super interesting.
It's really cool.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
It's yeah, I could go on about it, but they have a podcast. I don't know if you guys know about it. It's
no.
really, really, really.
Do they just talk
interesting.
about Whoop specifically?
No,
or
no.
what?
They they bring on like different like high level athletes. They brought on the NBA commissioner for the first episode, and they just talk about a little bit about them. They bring on just like because this Whoop is like I think it's designed for the extreme athlete because it really, really dials in on everything they do to really perform their best. And every episode has like a different person on, and they talk about, just something related to what the person is known for, and then how it relates so much to what Whoop can do. And it's one of those things too where I probably know 2% of what this thing actually does, but the more and more and more and you read it, and like they have put so much data and science behind it. It's just so interesting how it's so hard to explain to people like what a Whoop is, especially for me, because it's like there's so much more than what you can tell them. I just tell people now, it's like, hey, just Google it. Like,
So is it fairly new then?
it's like what 2016, 2018.
Something
really?
like that. But their popularity is only like they've really skyrocketed probably in the last year. They went hard on like podcast advertising, like
Yeah.
Manscaped and shit. So
Right.
now everyone knows who they are, right?
So it differs from a Fitbit in that it
Yeah.
has better battery life.
And I believe
That's like the smallest
significant
thing.
more
It just
accuracy.
yeah.
The data is more.
It's tracking like
like,
every
I'll-
second.
I'll
And
show you the like the app is pretty sophisticated.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I tried wearing a Fitbit for a while. It was like a week, and I was like, forget it.
yeah,
So like this is the basic screen, but you can like, where's my screen? I don't know. There's a bunch of like different fucking shit and like
what's your username?
I have no idea. I'll have to figure it out after. I don't know. There's a lot of analytics to it. So your sleep, your recovery, then day strain, recovery, sleep performance, and then you can click your sleep coach. It'll tell you how much sleep to get tomorrow. There's a lot more graphs and stuff in here too. It gets a little more elaborate.
It's
but
intense. You should get
Interesting.
one.
the data is pretty.
It'll help. It'll encourage you to work out harder too.
Yeah.
Which I like.
Okay.
Because like I do like a
Yeah.
workout, and I'm like, fuck, my strain's only at like 10. Like I gotta go harder.
Well, it also has made me realize doing like let's call it like a bodybuilding routine, like your heart rate's barely.
Yeah,
you
you're
have
getting
to
no strain.
you have to push yourself a lot more,
Yeah.
right?
And
so
it's different, right? Like,
Yeah.
kids is based on how hard your
Yeah.
heart is working, right? So when you're
So,
lifting weights, it's different. from-
exactly, it is a little more cardio focused.
Yeah.
So like I could imagine a friend of ours, Spencer Fu, who was on the other day, who plays hockey in Europe, he uses it religiously, and I'd be curious to see his numbers, because if you're playing like hockey, especially in like
Yeah.
a professional league, like that's probably
Totally.
hitting 21. That's probably how you have to do it.
It's
but
impossible. No one can
yeah,
hit 21.
yeah. But yeah, no, it's definitely, and it makes me, I don't know, I got into like riding my bike and stuff
It's
recently,
great
so
for that, yeah.
yeah, I don't know. It makes you work out harder. Kind of makes you realize your workouts maybe aren't quite as hard as you think
We're
they
not
are.
sponsored by Whoop either.
No. They
Please
are
sponsor us,
very expensive. So,
Are they?
well, it's $30 US a month, so it's
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
really?
kind of expensive.
It used to be what a $300. It used to be a one-time cost of $300
Sure.
for the hardware,
Yeah.
but now they went to subscription, which is really
Yeah.
smart. So now you get the strap for
It's
free,
for free. Yeah.
and then you just pay a subscription.
Gotcha.
I actually
Yeah.
believe I looked into it about a year ago, and they were in like a mixed phase where
Oh,
it was
really?
like maybe like 150 up front,
Oh,
and
nice.
then like a monthly fee or something. I don't
And
know.
they
It's
just
kind of
went
weird.
all the way to it.
Yeah, now they went all the way subscription. So
Yeah, it's not
Interesting.
cheap, but
yeah.
So you have
I
to
don't-
sign like some sort of.
I think it's monthly, but I think if you buy like a 6-month or 12-month, it's like a discounted
Yeah, you
thing.
get discounts.
So yeah.
Okay.
So in theory, you could, if the novelty wears off, you can get rid of it, I suppose. Right?
I'll look
So,
into it.
Yeah.
You heard of like the Aura Ring too?
I've seen that on like my Facebook ads and
Yeah.
stuff.
What's that?
There's this guy out of Montreal that he's pretty big in the fitness world, and I think he's involved in the development of it. But essentially the same thing: tracks your sleep, tracks your recovery, but it's just a ring. Like it's
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
really
yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
That's cool.
Okay.
yeah.
Cool. I don't know. I kind of like that this is, it's not too obtrusive, but it's noticeable enough that people will be like, oh, what's that? And you can be like, oh, my sweet fitness band thing. So, yeah. Joe Rogan uses it. So-
Oh, does he? Cool.
He was on the
Actually-
Garmin train, wasn't he?
Or actually, you know what? I don't think Joe Rogan uses it as much. Whoop might have been a sponsor, but a lot of those other guys, those comedy
Gotcha.
podcasts, it's
Yeah, my friend
part of
KB
it.
told me about it. Until then,
Mhm.
I haven't heard of like
Yeah.
Whoop,
Huh.
even on like Joe Rogan's podcast.
Super.
They
interesting.
I think they sponsor Two Bears One Cave actually.
Hmm.
Like Tom Segura, Bert Kreischer, if you know those guys there, they're comedians.
Oh, cool.
They're really fat guys, but they use it all the time to
Oh,
like
nice.
track their sleep. So
Yeah.
but I think there is a promo code or something there. But
It's cool. I
Nice.
honestly like it's. I think it's catered to like high level athletes,
Yeah.
but anyone can use it and it'll help them in
I,
one way. or
I
the other.
actually think it started in the CrossFit community
Oh, really?
somewhere was kind of where it
Nice.
first started.
Okay.
But anyways.
The
yeah.
dude is a Harvard graduate who's the CEO of it, and he runs a podcast too. So it's
Oh,
a
cool.
lot.
Cool.
He's very well spoken
Damn, I
too.
might look into that.
You should. It's actually a really cool podcast when you're like, don't get me wrong, I love JRE, but there's a time where you just gotta switch it up.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Well, it gets a little long and stuff too, right? So,
Mhm.
but
So you've been back to the gym then too, or
Yeah, I've been going pretty hard.
you've been booking the workouts?
No, I actually switched to Evolve.
Oh, did you?
I left
Oh,
Good Life.
cool.
Just because Evolve opened like a month before Good Life, and I
Mhm.
didn't. And Good Life also we're doing those 1 hour time slots.
yeah.
Yeah.
And also Evolve, like the one downtown, their equipment is a lot more functional, and that's
Yeah.
kind of what I've kind of like diverged my workouts to be more functional training and
Right, right.
applicable. I've been boxing a lot with my friend KB too, so it's all kind of revolved around just being able to move your body
Mm.
versus just lifting
Pumping, yeah.
super weights.
Yeah.
But yeah, Evolve's been great, and during like the whole COVID time, I was like running lots. I got a dog. You guys didn't know?
I saw that. Yeah,
yeah.
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 Oh yeah.
I think it'd be pretty hard not to know.
Not to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, blow him up.
Yeah.
But so I was running him lots during the winter, and yeah, I've been really active, which I think it's one of those things that kind of kept me sane during COVID.
Yeah.
Because you can either go one way or the other. You can go like, I hate my life. I'm gonna crawl in this hole and be depressed for
Mhm,
this. Like,
mhm.
the world is over, which is fine. But I feel like a lot of people did that. Or you can be like, you know what? Let's take this opportunity. I have so much time on my hands now.
Mhm.
Let's do things that I haven't done before. I like, wish I had more time to do. Like, let's get into that book that I always wanted to read.
Mhm.
But I mean, don't get me wrong. I was definitely in those mindsets too. Some days where it's just like it's depressing, man. Like when you go outside to walk your dog and you don't see a single person outside,
Mhm.
or like your friends. In the beginning, everyone got on that house party app. Everyone's having
Yeah,
a good
yeah.
time, but that wore off in like a week or two, and then
Yeah.
your friends aren't talking because everyone's just depressed. And
Mm.
yeah, I can definitely see why it got to people. Like I noticed a lot of people too, like when I came back, let's say whether it's like to my job or like a lot of people like put on a lot of weight, and it's just like people were just it's just one of those things. It's crazy. No one
Mhm.
expected a pandemic like this to happen. It was
No.
insane. It's
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, you kind of gotta. Frankly, I think you kind of had to do what you had to do to survive too.
For
right?
sure.
So.
yeah,
but,
mental health too and
yeah,
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I was.
I lost too much. I lost pounds.
Did you? That's good.
Yeah,
Or is
lost-
that
Yeah,
good or
that's
bad?
good, man.
That's bad.
Oh, is it bad for you? Yeah.
That's bad for me. Yeah.
Hey, yeah. I lost like 12 pounds. Like
Yeah.
I'm a stick now,
Yeah.
but
I'm one of those guys. If I don't go to the gym,
it just all comes off.
yeah, I lose it, which is
Mhm.
it's not fun.
right? That's okay.
That ectomorph
Oh yeah.
body type.
Yeah,
of thing.
yeah. I mean, that's probably a good problem to have as you get older too, right? So.
Yeah.
But
We'll see how long it lasts.
yeah.
Are you back at the gym?
I am. Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. Or Good Life?
Yeah, I've been.
Nice. You too, Tom?
Same.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Nice.
been doing the hour slots.
Cool.
but-
How is that? Like I heard people are saying it's like not bad. Sometimes they can get it
I
earlier.
actually don't mind it. It again, kind of the whole rethinking your workouts sort of thing. It forces you to be more efficient, right?
Yeah.
You're not farting around on your phone,
Probably
changing
working harder
songs.
too.
Yeah, exactly, right? And yeah, for me personally, like I try to go early. I don't mind lining up because you
Yeah.
usually get in like 10, 15 minutes early. I
Mhm.
dress at home, so I can just go straight to it.
Oh,
kinda
so you
like-
don't have to book time?
Oh, I book a time.
Oh,
yeah,
gotcha,
but
gotcha.
you still have to line up
Oh,
once
okay.
they open, kind of thing, or
That'd
whatever.
be shitty in the winter though, If
Oh,
this
yeah.
still happens, you're just
Yeah.
waiting outside in the freezing.
Well, I
cold.
go. Yeah, I mean, luckily the downtown one has
Yeah.
that like kind of atrium thing
Mm.
going
That's
on.
true.
But yeah, I wonder what's gonna happen in the winter. That's when I'm a little
Yeah. I would
little
not be
iffy about.
happy,
But
just-
It's okay. Bill
yeah.
Gates will have the vaccine by then.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I don't know. I like it. Like I was gung ho about it when it opened, but I got pretty good with doing like outdoor workouts, like
Yeah.
in terms of cardio, and then I figured out some like places to go to do like there's like outdoor fitness parks, and I would kind
Yeah.
of go do those things and
Totally.
stuff. But I don't know, I was super gung ho about it at first, and it's pretty good for like the social distance and stuff, and like. Make no mistake, I've been talking mad shit about COVID on here,
Yeah.
but like I'm still being a little cautious, and I was kind of like,
For
I'm
sure.
like, okay, well maybe I should like only go a few times a week and focus on
Yeah.
the home and outdoor workouts still, right? Like,
Gotcha.
I got a little spooked, but
I got.
what about you, Josh?
I mean, like I got so sore when I started going back too, because I was
Oh,
like,
it was wild.
yeah,
yeah.
You think that you're doing stuff at home? You're not really.
You're
Yeah.
not
I
doing
think so.
shit.
Yeah. Like
And then you
I
do
like those bands, but
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
when it
Yeah.
comes to lifting weights, like
Yeah.
booty bands can only do so much.
Oh
100%,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I would do. Oh, it's a little better now that you've kind of. I've gotten a. It's only been like 2 and a bit weeks, but still,
Yeah.
like the first chest workout did super moderate pump, and I was sore for like the rest of the week.
Oh yeah, it's a
pretty
nice
much.
shock to the system.
Yeah,
Feels
yeah.
good.
It's surprising. It
I
does
thought
feel
I had
good.
fucking COVID because I was like, oh my body hurts so much.
Yeah,
What's
yeah.
going on? Woke up in the middle of the night and it's sweat, and I was like, why are my legs so sore?
That's funny, yeah, because anytime like I have like a stuffy nose, whether it's allergies, I'm like, oh fuck, am I getting COVID? Like,
Yeah.
anything is COVID now.
Yeah. Or like in coughing in public, you have to kind of like, and your
Oh,
people
I
are
know,
still
like,
just like
you cough in public and everyone's just glaring at
Yeah.
you, like
Yeah.
It's kind of a
it's
weird.
so frowned upon now.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny and whatever. I mean, the good thing, like what you guys are saying about like working out outside, I think
mhm.
a lot of people started to appreciate more going outside and just
Yeah.
appreciating nature and like
I
not
think
going
so.
to bars all the time and just
Yeah.
getting fucked up. And I
That's
got
a
a bike.
positive.
Yeah,
I'd
and, like,
agree.
That's positive.
everyone was riding bikes. Like
Yeah.
I think
yeah.
bike sales were.
There's
going
no
through the
bikes
roof.
available.
I bought
man.
a bike. Yeah, I bought a bike in April, and I bought it
Yeah.
at like just the right time,
Yeah.
and it was kind of even hard to find one because I bought a semi sort of introductory price point,
Nice.
and a bunch of other places, or they were sold out of all the cheap
Oh,
ones
yeah.
and stuff too, because
Yeah.
everyone was buying one. But
It's crazy.
yeah, I don't know. I think for me the big thing is like just kind of keeping whatever mental shifts or changes you've made, like keeping those going
For
forward.
sure.
You know.
Yeah.
Mm. Keeping the positive ones.
Yeah, and then especially the outdoorsiness and stuff, right? So
No.
Yeah. I definitely appreciate the outdoors much more now.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's good. But yeah, going back to COVID, have you guys got tested? Like,
No.
no.
oh really? Nice.
Haven't had to. I almost actually had to get one because of my roommate's someone he worked with, someone they know got it. They had to get tested, that person, and if that person tested positive because she had worked, they would have had to all get tested, and me
Yeah.
by proximity because we lived together, but she was negative, so
Oh, nice.
anyways, yeah. Have you?
Yeah, I've got tested. I
Oh,
mean,
really?
I work.
Like just for fun or just because of work?
I would say because of work, just to be more cautious, because I
Oh,
work
okay.
in the restaurant industry, and obviously that's a high risk environment when you work in that type of business. I'm sure you guys have heard of like the outbreaks,
Yeah, at a few
like
places.
downtown and some
Yeah.
of those restaurants. But yeah, I was like, you know what, better safe than sorry. It sucks. Like they
So it
shove
was
that
more
thing up
just
your
out
nose.
of curiosity that you got it, or to be for your own peace of mind?
Yeah, I would say for my own peace of mind, because yeah, because I know actually people who have got it.
Mhm.
I actually know quite a bit of people who have got it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And it's funny because like I would when it first happened, I was like, you know, it's happened in China. I'm like, man, that sucks for those guys. And then it's like happening in Europe. It's like, oh fuck, that's so shitty. Like we good though. And then all of a sudden it's in the States. It's like, oh man,
oh, maybe
US.
it's yeah.
And the next thing you know, you got a case in Alberta. It's like, what the fuck? And then all of a sudden you got cases in Edmonton. I'm like,
Mhm.
man, the way it happened so fast and so explosively was insane. And like no one
Yeah, yeah.
could no one could have seen it
It
coming.
really did seem like a very over there sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then just like that, it was everyone's problem, right?
It's
So-
funny, like in 4 days, like if you look at the timelines now of how like COVID has changed, especially in Alberta, like 4 days later, like something gets announced, 3 days later, the whole thing changes and everything, like your world gets turned upside down.
Mm.
Everything just happens so fast. And then, yeah, so I know like a bunch of people in the restaurant industry who got it.
I was about to say, was it all restaurant
I would say
nightclub
most.
related?
I would say it's most industry for sure.
Yeah. related to those outbreaks like a week or two ago? Or maybe 2 weeks ago? Or
I think-
not exactly?
maybe, 'cause,
Not
like-
to oust anyone, I'm just
Yeah,
curious.
no, totally. Like I think the thing with that too is like when you're in the restaurant industry, like it's such a
Mhm.
such like he knows her, she knows him type of
Sure.
industry where
Right,
everyone knows
right,
everyone
right,
in
yeah,
some
yeah.
way.
Yeah.
And I feel like that one person has been to every one of those restaurants downtown.
Yeah.
So downtown is super, my opinion, is quite one of the biggest high risk places in Edmonton, especially
yeah.
in the industry, right? Because you're constantly seeing people all the time. But yeah, and then I think a lot of people, there's that 1 week where so many people were getting tested because all these restaurants
Got it. Yeah.
announced it, and everyone's like
Yeah,
freaking
yeah.
out if you
Yeah.
went to eat there.
Yeah.
Well, I know, and my understanding was like a decent bit of the transmission was kind of linked to like one group of people who like worked at a few different places.
Yeah.
And then the transmission occurred more so outside of work versus inside of work is
I
my
could
understanding.
Yeah, I could see
Again,
that.
that's mostly through the grapevine sort of shit that
And
I've heard. But
yeah, I feel like a lot of people that got it in the service industry definitely wasn't at the restaurant. It was
Yeah.
one of the things where they got it from someone, and then they brought
Then
it
they
to the
went to work,
restaurant,
yeah,
and
yeah.
then the restaurant found out, and then they have to do, you know, their due diligence
Sure.
and
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
whether they shut it down or like announce it and let people know.
Mhm. Do you know if anyone got any customers got it, or was it mostly staff?
Let me
Like I didn't really hear. I don't know. I heard like something like some of those places it was like, you know, a total of like 10 cases linked
Yeah.
to one place or whatever.
I don't
but-
know, like from my knowledge, from the people
Yeah.
that I know, they were all, no one was a customer. It was more of like the workers got it through. Actually, no, I do remember
Yeah.
one girl who worked at, I probably shouldn't say names, but one girl who worked at a place who got served by my friend, and he thought that she gave it to him.
Oh, okay.
And then he got tested, and then he was positive.
Yeah.
But all the people that I know who've got it, like,
Yeah.
fine.
What
Like,
have
it
you
was
heard their
nothing.
kind of firsthand
Yeah, it was like
experience?
a little tiredness, a little sore, but that's it. Like nothing serious.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I'm like not disregarding that. Like I'm sure some people have those
Oh, yeah.
extreme cases, but I think it's quite extreme,
Mm.
especially
Yeah.
in people in our age.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I, for one, don't want it just because it would be such a annoyance.
Mm.
Because
Well,
I
'cause
would have to stop everything I'm doing.
For 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Like you have to. Do you get like? So do you stop for 2 weeks and get tested again at the end? Like when do you
It-
get
so,
cleared
yeah,
for
I
society?
never,
That's
I never
one part I don't
understood
know.
that too,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
AHS will clear you, but I think they give it like a time. So this is what I know. Like
Mhm.
when you get it, you quarantine yourself, and then after that, they'll tell you, all right, you're clear now. You still have it, but you're not contagious anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's
yeah.
just like, how do they know? You know, like they don't do another test to them. They just,
They just
I think
kinda
it's just
time
based
it.
on a timeline. So that's
Well,
kind of like
I
sus,
believe
you know?
I do believe part of it is one thing they're measuring, if I'm not mistaken, is your like viral load. But like,
Okay.
or I could be wrong, but that's also a factor in like not to go down the conspiracy rabbit hole. But I've seen some criticisms of COVID numbers from much more qualified people than me, where like it's kind of a yes/no test, but you're not testing how much they
Mhm.
have, if that makes any sense. So,
Yeah.
So, because in theory, like, especially if it's like super mild symptoms, perhaps you could have had it for, like, what if I had it for 13 days, get my test on the 13th day, on the 14th day?
That's
can I,
true.
Am I fine? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, I don't know.
It's so up in
I'm
the
just
air
curious.
still.
Yeah, well, what they're doing.
Plandemic.
There it is.
Oh God, yeah. I love the.
Or like the crazies who are against wearing a mask. It's
Yeah.
like, okay,
Yeah.
I get it if you don't want to wear a mask, but if you're
Yeah.
gonna like advocate so strong, where you see all these videos, especially in the States, where people are like freaking out of people because like
Mm.
Like,
they're wearing
yeah,
a mask.
Really actively protesting
Oh,
versus
it's
just being
like-
like, you know, if you don't
Do
want to
your
do
own
it,
thing.
don't do
Yeah.
it, I guess.
Yeah, and if
but
there's a grocery store that says you have to wear a mask, then
Yeah.
don't go to that grocery store. Like,
Exactly.
just
Yeah.
respect the rules. At
or
the end.
like,
I
you can-
did test the Bill Nye thing.
What was that?
Well,
Oh,
he,
the candle or
yeah,
whatever.
he blows out a candle with a fucking scarf,
Yeah.
and then he puts on like a just a surgical mask or something and tries to blow it out. Or actually an N95, and he can't blow it out or whatever. And I put on a mask and like tried to blow into my hand. You can't feel anything, so it does do something.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure it helped, but
Yeah.
I'm sure it doesn't 100% like protect you.
I don't
but
think
it's
so
like,
either.
No.
people have these analogies. It's like, okay, like if you take a shit and you don't wipe your ass, you're gonna get shit everywhere. But if you wipe your ass, there might be a little shit left, but there will be a lot less. Like,
Yeah.
so it's
Yeah.
kind of like the same thing there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I'm like I have no problem masking up if I need to. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna do it excessively.
Totally.
But I don't know.
And it
We'll
just
see.
sucks wearing a mask. Like,
Oh, I know. Yeah.
and
Well, and then you
the
have
air
to work in
quality.
one, right?
Yeah,
So,
like I got
I don't
used to
know.
it now, but in the
Yeah.
beginning I was like, "Fuck, this is brutal." Like you
Yeah.
get all hot because you're not used to wearing a mask.
So how do you feel on the serving side of it? Like, do you feel safe-ish, or are you like, these people need to go home, or like, what's the?
Oh, for the people who got it?
Well, no, for you when you're serving, what's
Oh,
kind of your feeling, I guess,
honestly, like when I wear
without
if I-
getting yourself in trouble.
no, like when I wear a mask, like I personally don't really mind,
Mhm.
but I mean, like I said, I would hate to get it because it'd be annoyance, and also I see
Mhm.
my mom a lot too, and
Right,
she's
right.
immunocompromised. So I think my biggest worry would be giving it to someone who could really
Yeah,
get affected
yeah.
by it,
Mm,
because
yeah.
I don't see myself getting. You never know though. Maybe I could be one of those cases where I'm like dying for, trying to save, dying to live kind of thing.
Mm.
So yeah, ideally I just don't want it. Period.
Yeah.
Like you have
Yeah,
some
I
people who
think
are like,
that's a
oh,
pretty
let's just
fair
get it over
assessment,
with,
yeah.
and then you're immune. But it's like you're not really immune. Like there's this thing on Instagram where this dude got COVID twice now. It's like you can't, like you're not just guaranteed immunity after you get it. So
Mhm.
I think it's just try your best, like be safe, wear a mask when you need to, when you're in like closed spaces, like when you're outside. It's like,
Yeah.
just kind of be smart about it, man. Like I don't know.
I'm a little intrigued / concerned for the winter, because at least now you can like work out outside, go
Yeah.
outside, hang out with people outside, which apparently supposedly sunlight is a big factor for killing coronavirus or something like that,
interesting.
or UV light specifically. So when it's wintertime, and that is also when like it's not the cold or flu, but that's why cold and flu spikes in the winter,
Yeah.
because people are indoors and using like ventilated air systems
Oh,
and stuff,
gotcha.
right? So that'll be I don't think that the second wave will happen in summer, if at all. It'll be in the fall and winter.
Yeah.
So who knows what'll happen then? I don't know. That could be. It might be a extra depressing and dark winter, dare I say? So
Hopefully
fuck.
they keep like some gyms open though.
Yeah.
I've kind of thought that like as soon as there's one case,
Everything will shut down. Hey.
yeah, it's kind of like, especially for the gym type of thing. I think that's kind of-
Yeah, that's gonna be. Well, that's my. Well, here's the thing too. Like specifically, our gym,
yeah.
they opened 2 weeks ago. In theory, if anything happened, it should be happening now. So.
And like, how can you point?
But
it
how would
to
you know,
the gym,
right?
Like,
Yeah.
the guy who got it was a guy because he got it at the gym. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
100%.
yeah.
It's
Well, it's very hard to trade. And then
Everybody
in
that works
theory-
out at Good Life, don't go get tested so I can keep working out.
yeah, exactly. Schrodinger's COVID.
Yeah.
If you don't test, you don't know.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm kidding. But
yeah. But well, in theory too, because if they're doing the time slots, if it was some guy who was there at 10:30 at Tuesday,
yeah.
is it only the people who were there at that time? I guess, right?
Exactly.
Like, in theory, it shouldn't be the others, but
it's so
I
up
don't
in the
fucking
air,
know,
man.
man.
Like I'm so over COVID, but
I think everybody is.
yeah, I don't know.
On to the
It's
next
frustrating.
thing.
Yeah, honestly,
Yeah.
yeah.
but
I'm going to Kelowna on Sunday too for a week.
Nice.
yeah.
So,
So are you doing, like houseboat or something, or what?
So our buddy's bringing his boat down, and then we rented a big place in West Kelowna.
Oh, cool,
So that
cool.
would be fun.
Nice.
But
Is it a lot of people going, or?
there's quite a bit. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. It's a good amount of people.
Good thing we
going.
got him before that trip.
Yeah.
So.
So you guys want to see me after? That's all good. But
Well, okay.
yeah.
We wish you well either way. So.
But it was funny because everyone in the group's like, all right, we all got to get tested 2 weeks before we go to Kelowna. So everyone got tested, and like we're all negative. But I heard there's like a couple outbreaks in Kelowna recently too.
Really?
So
like
that's
in
interesting.
Kelowna specifically,
Yeah,
or
specifically
from
Kelowna.
Okay, yeah,
So
yeah.
just kind of watch out.
I don't know. It's kind of tricky. I really believe like Canada is doing a pretty good job as a whole. And I was talking
think
about a friend about this with a friend today, because if you follow Barstool Sports, they post like clips in like kind of like outdoor pool and beach clubs,
Okay.
and I'm like, are these like old clips or are these current? And
Yeah.
supposedly they're current, like
Oh,
in
I
like
don't-
Florida and
Yeah.
Vegas and stuff. I'm like, what the fuck
I'm
is
not
wrong with
surprised.
it? Like, what the fuck?
You gotta go to Wet Republic, man.
Yeah, seriously.
Wasn't there like one kid? There's like 100,000 people got it in some state, like in one day or something. Something stupid like that.
Florida just had a day where they announced 15,000 new
Oh,
cases.
okay.
Florida is really bad right now, actually. Like,
Yeah,
the cases are pretty crazy.
I'm so glad I'm not living in the States right now.
Yeah.
On multiple reasons, but
It really
Yeah.
goes to show like the level of intellect, you know?
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
like
Yeah. Well, I even think it's a bit of a cultural thing where
Yeah.
like, because
Freedom, baby.
like
They don't give a
it's
fuck.
they're so
American
like
dream.
liberty,
Yeah, it's cool.
freedom, and then also like especially in the southern states, Americans have a bit of a problem with authority because they've been so like self-governed, and revolution is more part of their culture.
Yeah.
So it's almost like yeah, if you tell them not to do something, they'll be like,
Fuck
fuck you, this
do
is
it.
the land of the free, right? Versus
Yeah. We're
Canadians
gonna
are a
do it
little
even
more
more
like,
now.
okay,
Sorry.
we're all polite.
Sorry, we'll do
sorry,
it.
sorry, we'll do it. Sorry.
No, sorry.
If you tell me not to do something, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, exactly. No, in
That's
Canada,
true.
we're like, sorry. That sums it up. That sums up my point so well.
That is true.
Yeah. What's yeah, shit, I don't know. But I try to avoid the COVID conversation as much as possible because it just goes in circles.
For
and
sure.
we also, at the end of the day, have no idea.
Here's my philosophy: do you build your life around I won't go places because I might catch the flu? Not really, right?
Yeah.
So if it's
Mhm.
gonna be around forever, and
Totally.
it's gonna be
Once
that
it
type
starts
of
to
thing,
get some normalcy to it.
yeah. I think
Mhm,
that's
mhm.
kind of the mentality that at least I've adopted. And then it's like, okay, if I'm around at-risk people, I'll throw a mask on and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
we'll hang out outside or something. But if it's, I mean, I'm not gonna. I still need to like go about my life too.
For
right?
sure.
So, and I mean, cooping people up in their house, and I mean, I think there's a huge amount of mental stuff that's going to come of this, and there's going to be a bunch of collateral damage too
Mm-hmm.
because of
mm-hmm.
people losing their jobs or businesses.
Oh, it's
and
already
all this other
happened. Like,
stuff,
it's
right?
terrible. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, frankly, it's like you can't live your life in fear too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Well said.
and on that note, like, because I'm guessing was, your quarantine was like decently quarantined. You probably spent a decent amount of time locked up, like most people, right? So,
Yeah, I guess.
give or
yeah.
take, yeah. I don't know. I like to ask people the positive. Did you have any big epiphanies, life lessons, self-actualization moments to take out of that? That you can
It's more
immediately
so
pull
just,
up
like,
on the spot?
Appreciated the outdoors
Yeah,
more.
yeah.
And,
Okay, yeah.
I think that was it. And then kind of, yeah, give me more time to like, and then it also like kind of tests you, like, are you going to just kind of
Mm,
roll over and just bitch, or are you gonna try and do the best of it? There's no gyms open. Are you gonna just not work out and blame it on no gyms opening? Or are you gonna go outside and run? Or are you gonna go outside and run stairs? Or are you gonna do push-ups? Or are you gonna do sit-ups? It's
Yeah.
like there's always an answer. Like, I think we're the worst at making excuses for ourselves. Like, whether
Definitely.
it's like me, you, or anyone else out there. So it's kind of a nice challenge to be like, all right, like, are you gonna be a bitch, or are you gonna get your shit done?
Yeah, exactly.
But everyone, and once again, like, everyone reacts differently.
Yeah.
That's just my mindset. So
Mhm,
obviously
mhm.
not taking away from anyone who like is not like that. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Bit of a change of subject, but one thing I was kind of thinking about, as Woofley has grown, have you had any issues with the alternate pronunciation problem
Dude,
that
so many
people ask
people
you
say
about?
woo fly, and I don't get it.
Really? Because I was almost,
There's clearly a dog.
you know what I was thinking is like, from like a marketing perspective, almost not to tell people about that, because
Yeah.
I always read it as woofly,
Yeah.
until you told me some people say woofly, and now I can't not see woofly.
Oh, because you saw it as Woofly, right?
Yeah.
And I thought,
as it was meant to.
yeah,
Yeah.
but
I
so many people can't pronounce it. I'm just like, what the
but
heck?
I just think when it's like, when you see it with a dog, the association should be like, if you
Woofly.
had an ad that had an airplane in it, I would read woofly like that.
Totally.
But that would be
Yeah.
make no sense. But anyways, right?
Discounted airline.
Yeah, I
And
guess
I
so.
think
right?
I think it is like just no one like pays attention to actually look at the logo
Sure.
long enough. Like,
yeah.
so the people who ask me like, oh, how's like WooFly doing? Like, they don't give a fuck. They're just like, oh yeah, how's your company doing? What's it called again? But
So you still in that commercial space out in Leduc, or?
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a big space.
Yeah.
So we anticipated it to be a lot busier in the beginning. So rent was definitely one of the challenges that we had to overcome in terms of making sure we like hit those numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a great spot. Corey and I, so Corey's my partner. We spent a lot of time in retrofitting it. Yeah, you should have seen like the before and after. It's like
Mhm.
we did it all ourselves because we were pretty strapped on cash.
Yep.
So like we painted everything, we put new walls up, we painted everything, we put new ceiling. Like oh my god, it was. We put a walk-in cooler in there.
Yeah.
We didn't even know how to build a walk-in cooler.
Oh, what?
Yeah, it's
That's awesome.
insane.
Holy shit. Just the two of you, or did you like hire a couple people?
No.
Oh,
So
wow.
my buddy. So no, that's a lie. We didn't hire anyone, but our friend Matt came and helped us, and he worked in refrigeration, so
Yeah.
he definitely took the lead on that.
Hmm.
But it's like Lego. It's like big Lego piece, and you just keep putting the blocks together.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I've heard that before.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
we didn't have hot water in the beginning. Like
Damn.
the tank was like not big enough. We would get cold water. That's the thing about starting a business. Like
Oh, yeah.
you go
You
through
gotta learn.
so much shit, and you just become stronger, or you just fail
Where
miserably.
you fold, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's good. It's good for the soul, I feel. Yeah.
Good
I
for
think
the
so.
soul.
It
Yeah.
proves your medal,
Yeah.
proves your stripes, whatever you want to say.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you're
But-
competing a bit for top of mind, I guess, in the at least in the time frame that you guys started it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And that was one of the things too, right? It was like it was very new to the market.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot of companies doing it. If none, when we first thought of it, a year goes by, you see some companies popping up. So now you feel more rush. It's like, okay, we need to launch now
Yeah.
because we're losing that advantage. But yeah, like timing is so important, man. Like when you have a good product or a good idea and the market is ready to take it on, or the market is just primed for it, like you really need to go because like there's someone out there thinking the exact same thing, and there's someone trying to beat you to it always. Like just because you have a good idea does not mean no one else has thought of it. It's just
Yeah.
who's going to execute it. It's execution is so huge. It's like it's everything.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what I've started to like realize. Like
Oh, yeah.
ideas mean nothing now. It's just how can you execute it.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think even for us on the real estate side of things, there's been stuff like that where we see a company or whatever who has a similar idea to what we're trying to do,
Yeah.
and we're like, oh fuck, but it's like it doesn't matter if there could be 100 out there. Like
Yeah.
you just have to do it more and better is
Yeah,
really
totally.
what it is.
More and better marketing, better branding.
yeah, you just got to separate
Even-
yourself, right? Like
Yeah.
Even sales, work ethic, like who you and your employees are too.
your
right?
network and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Especially for real estate with you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's,
No, 100% the velocity thing though is like I've definitely thought a lot about that too, is when you have that idea, I think you got to pull the trigger almost immediately and
Yeah.
at least get something out there in the first couple weeks or something.
Yeah.
And it's hard too because you don't want to half-ass it, right?
Oh,
like when you launch,
definitely.
you want to like really launch. So
Definitely, but I think it's also like you only have so much passion for so long
yeah,
for a certain project, and you got to essentially capitalize on that passion and turn it into something
for sure.
as quickly
yeah.
as possible. And
Like before it feels like a job too much kind of thing,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
what?
yeah.
Is that what you mean?
I think so. I think that's personally how I
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Or it could be maybe you're just not doing the right thing. You know?
could be, maybe.
I agree with that sentiment
It's
actually. Yeah.
and it's like one of those things too. It's like we're young guys, like for the most part. Like
Mhm.
I'm getting pretty old now, but I mean, there's still so much out there that you just haven't tried. So I think it is like, yeah, I do agree with you. Like you gotta get it out there and see if the market accepts it, and you gotta find out like, do I really want to do this long term? Like maybe a couple months go by and you start to lose that passion. Yeah, that could be a sign like maybe it's not for me, or like maybe this was nice, I learned a lot from it, but maybe this was a stepping stone to kind of springboard me into another idea.
Sure.
Yeah, like I can't talk too much about it right now, but me and 3 other people, we're starting up another venture, and I think it's a really good opportunity for it, but it's in the food industry. Yeah, I can't talk too much about it, but it's pretty exciting, and it's funny how like Mealcraft, it's funny how my life has led me to these select people, because when you look back and like how would I have met these people, it's just through like starting through Mealcraft, meeting someone through there, that person introduces you to that person, next
Sure.
thing you know, you guys are all aligned and you want to start something together. And I think that's the beauty too about like when you're starting your own business or just anything, like just when you're meeting, the more and more you put yourself out there, the more and more you talk to people, the more and more you meet people, you get opened up to so many more ideas you never thought you'd be doing. And I think that really opens helps you kind of discover what you really want to do in life,
Hmm.
in like a philosophical way. But
Yeah.
yeah, cause yeah, I don't know. Sometimes you feel lost, but then I used to feel that way too. But now I feel like I'm somewhat on a track where I'm supposed to be.
Hmm.
But I remember after university, I was so lost, man. Like I just didn't know what I wanted to do,
Mhm.
and you just kind of felt like going to that, getting a job. Like you just kind of do what the general populace does.
I think so. Yeah.
Especially if it's different though if you know what you want to do and you majored in it and you're specialized. That's not a lot of people though. You know, a lot of people aren't
No.
that organized at that age, and they don't. And a lot of people just haven't found that passion. Like if you did, like that's awesome, but most people don't. So you know, what does everyone else do? They do what everyone else does. You know, they try to find a job related to their degree, and hopefully they get like a passion that sparks out of it, and hopefully they climb to the top, and you get a girlfriend, you get a wife, you get married, you have kids, you get a house, you get a dog. Me, I'm like, man, like I haven't talked to like a girl in forever. Like it's been bad. Like it's like
Too
we want to
busy.
go there.
Too
It's like,
busy.
and that's a beautiful thing about it. Like I remember
I
when I was
respect
younger,
that.
if I didn't have any girls in my life where I wasn't talking to girls, I would legit be sad. I'd be like, man, I'm not talking to any girls. I'm lonely. I'm depressed. And it's like, I long for that connection. But now it's like, man, I'm so fucking busy. I don't even have
Yeah.
time. Like, if I like schedule like a date with a girl, my question is like, my question always like, all right, like, do I like this girl or do I just want to hang out with her, or like do I just want to do something short term with her? And it's like,
Mhm.
okay, if I don't
Mhm.
see myself, and maybe it's because I'm 29, I'm almost 30 now, and
Yeah.
I'm at the point where I just don't have the energy to fuck around too. But it's
Yeah.
like, okay, so if I don't see kind of like a long thing with her, like to be my girlfriend or anything like that, then what's the point? Like, what is the point of investing this energy into someone? And it could go both ways. I'm not saying like, this happens to me a lot too. It could be like, okay, I'm investing the energy into someone. I don't like them, but they're good looking. I just kind of want to hang out with them.
Sure.
And then after that, it's like that's all I want to do. But it's just like it's not. I don't think that's
Fulfilling.
cool.
Yeah.
Like to do
Yeah,
that to someone,
yeah.
especially if that other person likes you,
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
wants to be in a relationship with you.
Mm.
And it's just a lot of energy to hang out with someone you don't
Oh,
want to
yeah.
hang out with.
Mm.
So, yeah, like the dating, I'm so out of the dating scene, like Tinder, Bumble, all that stuff. Like I deleted those
Yeah.
a while ago. It's just like now I'm just like I'm so busy, which is great. Like I love being busy, but don't get me wrong, it's super stressful too. But you don't have time to think about that shit. And like,
Yeah.
and sometimes my friends kind of bug me. It's like, dude, like you haven't talked to girls in forever. Like, what's going on with you? Like, it's like kind of
Yeah.
like that society thing. It's like, oh man, like you're not talking to chicks kind of thing. But it's
Yeah.
like, man, I'm totally okay with it.
Yeah.
Like I'm having fun with what I'm doing. Like I'm working out hard. I'm just bettering myself and I'm loving it. And then
Yeah.
when, that chick comes or when that guy comes, whether you're a girl, guy, like I think it's the best. I love how this has turned into like a dating thing now.
This is
No,
amazing.
But I
this is
think
good.
I think it's the best when it just it happens naturally.
Yeah.
Because it's so much better. And like I think dating apps have changed the way of dating into like in a bad way, because it's so like you meet someone online.
Commoditizes it a
Yeah,
little
totally.
bit.
It's so materialistic. When you're swiping for a girl, you're not like they're not even a human to you,
Yeah.
right? Like
Mhm.
they're just like an
Mhm.
object. You're just left, right, left, right, left, right
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah,
And
very
it's the
true.
same with a girl too. Like you got to look at it in the girl side. Obviously, they get way more matches, especially if you're a good-looking girl. It's like how am I gonna pick? And like, do I even
Yeah,
want to pick?
yeah.
Because like every guy swipe, like I match, they're gonna match with
Oh,
me
yeah,
no matter
no,
what, because I'm
the-
hot, you know.
Yeah, the for women especially, I think it would be kind of hard to like filter even, because
Yeah.
you just like every guy, like let's say you're a chick who's a 9.
Yeah.
Every guy who is a 1 to a 10 will swipe on you
100%.
without question.
Yeah,
right? So
exactly.
like there's a lot more being received than given out, and it would just be
And it boosts their ego too,
Yeah,
which is not
yeah.
a good thing, because
No.
now
No,
they think
no.
they're the shit.
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's just like, oh man, like, and it I don't know. People use these dating apps for
Yeah.
a different reason, right? It's
I
like,
mean,
makes me feel good.
sure, there like any criticism of social media,
Yeah,
modern
exactly.
technology, like there's good and bad for sure, right?
Mhm,
But I don't know, it's weird. But I also kind of agree with what you're saying there, where it's well, like, because for me right now, I'm sort of the opposite of kind of partaking in the dating scene, and
Okay.
some weeks it's like holy fuck, this is exhausting trying to just entertain girls, right? So,
Dude,
I don't know.
it's a lot of work.
And it takes up a lot of your time, right?
It takes
So,
up a lot
yeah,
of time. It really does.
time in it. My big thing is like, I've been thinking more about like energy and how much energy and effort I put into something.
Mm-hmm.
Namely, because I started gaming again over quarantine to
Big
keep
Warzone
myself
guy or what?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, nice.
But I've gone back into retirement because I'm like, I'm putting in so many hours a week, like like let's pretend it's like 15 hours or whatever over 7 days. Like that's
Yeah.
almost another part-time job.
Totally.
Like that's 15 hours of my day of like a lot of energy I'm putting into something that I could be putting elsewhere, right?
Yeah.
So,
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's yeah, I'm like a huge gamer. Like I've
Yeah.
always been a huge gamer, and yeah, it's one of those things exactly. It's like, man, I put like X amount of
Yeah.
hours this week. I could have yeah, and like yeah, I don't game as much anymore cuz it's the same thing. It's like I know I can use that time for better stuff, and I just
Yeah.
kind of feel guilty when I am gaming cuz I know I
Exactly,
have something
yeah.
I got to do. So
And
Yeah.
you know,
but it's all about balance though, you know, if you
it
enjoy
is. It is. It's like
If you use it to decompress, like it's
Mm-hmm.
different. I think there's different ways of looking at it too. Like
Yeah.
if you're playing 40 hours a week or something, then
Yeah.
you probably have a problem. But like
and it's probably something else like you're
You
trying to
should be
avoid, you're trying
doing
to
or
hide.
avoid.
Yeah.
But if it's like, oh fuck, I had such a long day, I got, an hour or two to game.
yeah,
As long as you're not getting tilted and like screaming in your mic, which I do quite frequently when I game, so it's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it could do the
same,
opposite for
same.
me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, no, it can be a good thing, but it's all about balance. Everything in life is about
It
balance.
really is,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
And I think it's important to think about not just the time investment, but your energy investment and your like mental energy, right?
For sure.
So,
yeah,
and then that even kind of spills over to like friends relationships, especially bad ones, like because those take up your energy, and that
Yeah.
Yeah.
that sucks away from, especially if you're like a self-employed person, like
Yeah.
because it's like not to poo-poo like a 9 to 5 lifestyle or anything, but there is a little more energy to get the steaming locomotive going required
For
on
sure.
our end, I think, right? So, you just kind of have to guard that, and I don't
Yeah.
know. I think that goes for everything, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a different mindset too. Like, you grind your ass off between 9 to 5, and then it's like, okay, it's like some people don't take work home with them, and some people do,
Yeah,
right? But
yeah,
if you
true,
don't, it's
true.
kind of nice where you can just like, all right, I did
Yeah.
great today. Talked to a lot of people, connect to them. It's
Yeah.
different for you guys, though. I'm sure you take your work home because you're
Yeah,
always talking
yeah,
to clients,
exactly.
right?
Yeah,
But
but maybe but there's something to be said about being very effective in those hours too, right? And if you
Mhm.
can compartmentalize, I don't know if that's a good word to use, but anyways, yeah.
I think we all know the people that are energy sucks and energy givers. Like, and
Yeah.
you don't really want to be around those people
oh
that are
yeah,
the vampires, right? So
they suck, man.
so it's the same thing. Yeah, but it's the same
Yeah.
with girls, right? Like there's definitely girls that give you energy, and there's girls that suckle it all away. So you have to find the ones that
Oh,
are
yeah.
that
I think
are-
I think I'm the opposite. I think I'm the one sucking the girls' energy away.
Oh yeah.
But, yeah, but no, I totally, man. So until then, I'm just doing what I'm doing, and
So he's single, ladies. There
I'm
you go.
single,
hit him up,
but
hit the
I'm
DMs.
not mingling. Right
Not mingling. You have to go to him. So, well, damn, that's a little over an hour. Shall we call it an episode?
Let's do it.
Yeah,
Shepman?
that was great.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
time
Loved it.
flies.
Yeah, thanks for
So,
having me, guys.
I do like to end with the question, what's next for you?
Ooh, yeah, what's next? All right. So Mealcraft, so plugging hard at Mealcraft. We're doing a rebrand too, which is pretty exciting.
Oh,
We're gonna
cool.
change the logo.
Really?
Are you changing the name?
No, we're keeping the name, change the logo, just because just
Well,
is
isn't
really
it like an octopus?
exactly right. So it's a cool. Everyone's like, man,
It's
your logo's
cool,
so
It is
cool,
cool,
but
yeah.
it's not. It doesn't really represent what we do.
Yeah.
So we're gonna change it more to that. So stay tuned for that. Woofly. Yeah, we're just plugging away at Woofly. We want to get more involved in. So we're in like the boardwalk community. We're in, I don't know if you heard of this condo in Calgary, Park Central. It's like one of the really good ones there. So we're trying to get more into these condos. We're at the market, so we're at the 124 Grand Market on
Nice. Oh,
Sunday,
cool.
Thursdays.
Yeah.
So if you guys ever stop by, we just always hand out free like topper sizes of dog food to
Nice.
people
Cool.
who bring their dogs. Yeah, and then what else are we doing? We're trying to. So I've always wanted to take a team and deck them out in Wolfley gear and go to the dog park and like hand out samples. But you know, with COVID, it's a little difficult.
dicey.
Yeah, you don't want to be approaching these people. But I think soon when I come back from Kelowna, we'll be doing that, and that'll be fun. Yeah, and this third thing we got going, I'm really excited for that. A lot of potential. It's kind of like a restaurant. Definitely franchisable, but it's a concept that hasn't been seen in this city yet, and I think it'll be very interesting. It really touches on a lot on community and like local, we'll call it street food. But yeah, I'll leave it there with you guys. But that's really exciting, and if that happens, I don't know how Mealcraft will transition to it because, fuck man, I don't know if I can do everything like I'm gonna.
You only have 24 hours in the day.
Yeah,
exactly.
And, yeah, and then just keeping exercise. Oh fuck, I'm like so in love with exercise right now. It's great.
Nice.
Like, but yeah, that's me.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well,
Sean
thanks.
in a nutshell.
Thanks again for joining us. We appreciate it.
Yeah,
thanks, Sean.
thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you.